Welcome to Gunners Are Us podcast, where we are positively Arsenal or England. This will be the second to last one where we're positively England, because we're kind of previewing the semi and in brackets, the final, if we can get past the Netherlands. So this is going to be an interesting one, because next week, if we've won the whole thing, we'll be positively England. If we've lost the whole thing, we still might be positively England. But if we've done anything similar to what we've done so far, it'll probably be negatively England and straight into positively Arsenal in pre-season. But here we are. This is Gunners Are Us podcast. I am on my own again. It's because I'm away in Florida. I'm in Orlando. I'm sat next to a pool. It is humid. It is about 95 degrees. So if this one's a short one, I do apologise. It's because I've probably either passed out, fainted, or given up, essentially, because it's very hot. But I'm sat here with, take a drink for the working man, a coffee and some creamer. And I'm just chilling, really. If you this is the first time you're listening to us, we're on iTunes and Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. Let your friends know. Spread the word. We're on TikTok at Gunners Are Us Podcast as well, so go check that out. We go live every 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. GMT, that is 10 a.m. I'm a little bit rusty because I'm already sweating, so bear with me. And that sound of a plane going over is because I am very much in the wilderness here. I'm outside. So hopefully you enjoy this. I'm hoping the audio is fine. But we need to talk about some England. Joe was actually, I think he was live on the TikTok this morning, and I wanted to get this podcast because I think in England it's, 4 p.m? Usually this podcast is up by about 2. I'm recording this at essentially English time 4 and 11 a.m. American time. So it will be up probably by 5, which gives you a few hours to listen to before the semi-final. But if we go through, you could listen to the whole thing post the semi-final, because we will preview the final a little bit, because we'll talk about Spain. So far, since our last podcast, we've actually won a game just on penalties. And I'll tell you what's interesting is we've played badly so often this tournament, and we've had that kind of bad taste in our mouth, but we've not lost. And I'd say the last couple, it's definitely felt more, there's like a positive vibe, and it's almost like masking the bad performance, because against Slovakia, I think getting that late goal with Bellingham was such like an endorphin rush and adrenaline that it kind of overtakes how bad we were on the day. And then we went straight into extra time. We score again, we hold out, and I think everyone kind of goes, it's bad, but we're through. Things can only get better. But then here comes the next game, and we have to change the whole formation because Guehi's out. I can't believe that Guehi's that important that we had to change the whole formation just to get him in. Or was it Southgate actually going, we need to actually change the formation because it isn't working in any way. But we're playing a very good Swiss team, very tough to beat. And we started with Saka on the left, I think it was left wing back. Wasn't right yet. And then Trippier, you had Walker, Konza, who I thought was really good on the day, Stones in the middle, Pickford in goal, Rice Mainu, Bellingham, Foden, almost like a square midfield because the wing backs are going high with Saka and Trippier, and then Kane on his own. I think that was the best we've played the whole tournament. I still don't think it was great. I thought Saka was unbelievable, considering 2 games running he played 120 minutes. And in both games, in one game he played right forward, left back, right wing back, over 120 minutes, just got on with it. And then this game was the difference maker, and he played from left wing back, still created more chances, more forward passes, scored a goal, scored his penalty than Foden and Kane, which is just, for position they're in, they should be doing a lot better. And I think this game was another one of these that I thought, like someone like Konza was a standout. I thought Rice was really good. I think the Arsenal connection of Rice and Saka was probably the best part of the whole game. And I know we're biased because we're positively Arsenal, but I think everyone kind of agrees on that. I don't know what Gordon's going to have to do to get any kind of minutes, but Kane is just not involved. It is so bad. I thought Bellingham was not involved. I thought Foden was not involved. I don't know how we're going to get them involved, but he's not even dropping them. That's what's kind of confusing about the whole thing. Because Kane's just a passenger. And I get keeping a world-class forward on because you just never know. And he has scored 2 goals already. But I just don't think we're missing anything if he comes out of that team and someone like Watkins or Tony comes in. Because the play is completely bypassing him. He's missed a couple sitters recently, which, you know, Watkins or Tony might do the exact same. But I don't know. I feel like if we had a willing runner in behind, like Watkins particularly, that's going to make the whole team so much better because it's going to create more room for the whole midfield. Especially now we've got 4 people in midfield and it's like a square. And they're proper, you know, passes of the ball now. Like the times we progressed the ball was anytime Rice got the ball out to Saka, Mainu driving through the midfield. And that was really it. That was all we kind of had offensively. And I mean, Mainu and Saka doing that from wing back and essentially holding midfield when there's Bellingham, Foden, Kane, all these players on is still not correct. You know, nothing about it's balanced. It all kind of seems a bit confusing. But we got through. We conceded a goal. I think it was I wouldn't say it was a bad goal to concede. It was just kind of a goal. You know, it was well worked from Switzerland. We then, I must admit, so I was watching this with, you know, friend of the show, Elton Prince. We were watching it from a pool because he's got an outdoor TV. I'm looking at it right now because we're getting prepared to watch today's game versus the Netherlands. When that goal went in, it was just, he was very confident we were going to score again, but it was just such a demoralising, because it got to that point we were saying, like when it got to like 70, 75, you start thinking, do you know what, if they score now, this is, you know, because we felt like the better team, so we really thought we were going to win, and then the longer it went, the more you just felt like there's going to be a sting to this. And when that went in, I just kind of thought, oh no, I can't believe it's actually happened. But then, of course, Arsenal star boy Saka cuts in his trademark goal. I think Xhaka was the man kind of blocking it, and I think he's probably seen that one before. Knew that he probably needed to get out a bit quicker. But, I mean, Saka hasn't scored this tournament. Good way to get off the mark. Now, I think, like the 8th highest goal scorer in England history in tournaments, which is ridiculously, shows you how low it is. I think he's got 4, which by the way, is quite, considering he's only done a World Cup and a Euros, I mean, 4 is a decent return. Yeah, and he gets that goal, and you just think, you know, could we, you know, push on and actually get a winner here? And we didn't, you know, and I think in the extra time it really got a bit dicey because I think we did revert back to that typical Southgate in the 2020 Euros final. You know, let's just get to penalties. We'll win on penalties. And I mean, in hindsight, yeah, we did, but it's just such a horrid watch because you never truly feel it. And I think some of the players have come out and said that in extra time they felt like it was going to penalties. And I thought, I don't like the fact that that's what they think, you know, and they're kind of playing towards that. Because, I mean, you're looking for trouble. And against someone like Holland, I think they'll capitalise a lot quicker than a lot of teams. But we got through to the penalties. Akanji misses the first penalty. Pickford saves. Very poor penalty. I think there's a video of Walker telling him what way to go. I guess he's seen that in training. Pickford's water bottles obviously done the rounds as well. They miss it. I think all the England penalty takers were so good. I think Palmer going first, you know, keeping up his name to cold. He just popped it away. And then the 4 guys that came after that, you know, it's almost memes to each penalty, isn't it? Because cold Palmer. You got Tony who just stared the keeper down, never looked at the ball, which is mad. But his penalty record, you know, that's something to behold, really. To bring a guy like that on for penalties is just ideal. Trent's obviously winner at the end, unbelievable. Saka getting his. Bellingham just doing what Bellingham does, really, and just not really cracking under pressure, which is mad. I mean, he is a couple games away from getting that Ballon d'Or, which is just madness. But Saka's one was just so important because of obviously what we've seen a few years ago and the hate that he got and, you know, the racist part of it was just awful. So to see him go up there and do that, I think Gary Lineker said it best, kind of made everyone feel a bit emotional. And I mean, at Arsenal level, we watched that and this guy doesn't really feel pressure. It's mad because after that Euros thing, he had a couple big penalties for Arsenal, and he stepped up and decided, "Now I'll take it." And the reason we were even in that mess was at that final, three players said no to taking penalties, and he said he'd take one. So I mean, he got himself into the situation. And I think there's some videos coming out now of Trent saying to his family like he didn't want to take one, which apparently is about Foden. But I mean, having played football and been very poor at penalties, Kane getting pushed onto that corner and then limping off when you can see nothing really happens to him, I think says a lot, because he didn't want any part of that penalty shootout. He didn't want any part of the negative press post exit if we went out. And I think Foden's one, I'm going to guess. Well, the talk is that what Trump was saying was that Foden didn't want to take one. But, I mean, Foden was on and then they just took him off for Trent, which I think maybe might be because he's a better penalty taker, maybe. But my guess is that Foden, they got word to the penalty takers and they like a half-time extra time. And Foden said, no, I don't fancy it. But, I'd rather someone say that than not and then miss it. But, we learned a lot about the players that are going to step up when you need them. And I don't think necessarily Foden and Kane are. And they haven't been all tournament, to be fair. But we win the penalty shootout. I think, again, like I said, I think the endorphins of that kind of almost override that. I don't think it was a bad performance. It was just an average performance. It was just a middle of the road. It was our best one, which shows you how bad we've been. And the fact that we've got into a semi is very reminiscent of what France have been doing. But France have been doing it even worse than us. Their performances haven't been as bad as us, but I mean... Sorry, I got a fly around me. I think France had, going into yesterday, conceded one goal and it was a penalty, scored 4. One was a penalty, 3 own goals. It's just mad. To do that and get to a semi, and then in the semi I think they got a bit found out because Spain are unbelievable. And Yamal scoring at 16. We've heard of these 16-year-olds going along to tournaments and we think, oh my goodness, that's madness. Like Walcott, think of Walcott. But they don't really get any games, or they get like a couple minutes and you think, do you know what, they look lively. And you're quite impressed. Yamal's played every single game, started every single game for Spain, in a Spain team that's gone to the final, the first time they've gone to the final since 2010. And he's almost been the focal guy, the main man at 16. And then to come out in a semi and become the youngest ever goal scorer at the Euros, having become the youngest ever to assist in the Euros a couple of times already. And the one he did, going top bins against the post, in a high-pressure semi against the odds-on favourite to win the tournament. Like, that is mad at 16. I mean, Barcelona have got such a player, and this is his first tournament. He's gone to a final. I think how many tournaments he might get to play in. Because if he plays to 36, he could play in 11 major tournaments if Spain get that far. It is just madness. That is crazy to me. What someone said earlier was on Twitter was Yamal was 12 when COVID happened, and that really puts it into perspective. But Spain did knock him out, so Spain are in the final. I think from the get-go, I think they've been the best team, probably deserved finalists. On this side of the bracket, I think everyone's been a kind of hit or miss. I think the most deserving of all of them, I almost don't think anyone's deserving. I don't think Holland have been great. They were struggling with that Turkey team until they got a couple. Holland are odd because they're very good going forward, but they miss constant sitters. They're almost like Belgium light. And I mean, they've done better than any Belgium team to get as far as they've got. But they feel like Belgium light. And I don't know, defensively they allow you in a lot. I think it's a good matchup for England, because I think the reason we looked half decent against Swiss is because they weren't doing full low block, which we've only placed Slovenia, Serbia, Denmark, Slovakia. Like, it's all low, massively low block teams. And then you play Swiss, who kind of know they're good, do want to defend. And I think it made us look a little better because there was space. Whereas I think Holland, I don't think they're going to sit back at all. I think they're just going to play their game. And that's either going to be awful for England or actually might make us play better. And actually give us room, and the top players will create that space and create those chances. So time will tell, because that is in just a couple hours. So I'm hoping you're downloading this podcast now and you'll be able to get some of this information into your ear rolls before kickoff. But if we could fast forward beyond that point, because I think we're gonna play the similar lineup I think Gahey in for Konza, and I think it'll probably be the exact same team, but with the 5 at the back shape, which I don't really mind because it did look better. But I think when people like Palmer and Eze have come on, they've just looked so good. I just wish they'd get on earlier. I know we're getting to nut cutting time, so it's tough to start some of the players, but I mean, he's never started them when we played Serbia or Denmark or Slovenia. And I don't know what Gun's played like 2 minutes. I don't know what he's got to do. But we are here. I don't know if I feel confident. I feel probably about the same as I did about the Swiss game. My head's saying, nah, we'll lose. But then when you think about it, you go, but we're a better team. But the performances have just, like, if we've been playing well, I don't think I'd question this. I think this is an easier win. But I don't know what England's going to turn up. So time will tell. But if we do get through, it's either going to be it's either going to be a Holland-Spain final, which is a very interesting final. I think Spain will smash them. Or us and Spain. And again, I don't know if same result really. Spain might smash them. But again, that space allowed in the middle means the top players do get to show, get around and that is massively different, because the low blocks, you just got no space to move around in. It's just straight up tight. Try and undo the low block. It's just hard work. So I don't know. Maybe we're kind of getting to a bit where we were going to benefit from the way the other teams play. But like I said, time will tell. Spain-England final would be absolutely huge. That'll be next Sunday. I hope we do that. A little bit of Arsenal news just to kind of round this up, because I said it wasn't going to be long. I know it's only 20 minutes, but we're trying to buy a Wolves keeper for 50 grand. That got denied today. 50 grand. The Italian guy, I keep going to say his name and getting it madly wrong. Calafiori? Ooh. He looked unbelievable in the Euros. I think if our back four of Tommy, Ben, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Zinchenko stay put, and the only person who leaves is Kiwior to Inter Milan, who are interested for 25 million, and we buy this guy for 50 million, I think we've massively improved our defence, which was already very good, because we've bought David Raya. He's here now, 27 million. The fact we're trying to buy this Wolves keeper tells me that either they're trying to fill, because we've released a lot of youth players, and other than Heim after Raya, if Ramsdale leaves, it's Heim, and then we've hardly even got a youth keeper to fill the goals. So I don't know if we're trying to kind of fill a load of teams with keepers, because we are massively short. But yeah, to get him in, because then you've got Tommy and Ben as the right backs, Timber and Zinchenko as the left backs, let's say, Gabriel and Saliba as the centre backs, and then the new lad to kind of fill in. But you got to remember, Ben White, Tommy Asu, Timber all play centre back as well. I'm very keen to keep Zinchenko. I think he's so beneficial to home Champions League nights, certain teams for low blocks. You almost use him as the utility man that comes in for that style of play, and I think he's very much worth having. I think Kiwior had a really good stint, but I don't think he necessarily adds a lot to our team, especially now Timber's back. I wonder if we might actually see Calafiori as left back, Ben White right, Saliba, Gabriel and Raya, and then Timber as the holding player in midfield, with Rice as the left 8, Odegaard right 8. That kind of feels like that might be tested at some point, depending on who we can bring in. The other player that we're kind of being massively heavily linked with, I'm very excited about, is Eze, which I think will be unbelievable, because he's a destroyer of low blocks, essentially. Super direct, quick feet, tries a lot of things. Really good passer at the ball as well. It kind of fits the mould of a left 8 if Rice is the 6. Could also play left wing, right wing. Could be Saka's understudy as well as playing in the middle. Because, one thing we know about Arteta is he doesn't like people to play in one position. He wants someone like Havertz is a forward or a left 8. There's certain people like Saka and Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel, they play in their one position. Rice, he likes to be a 6 or an 8. If you can bring Eze in, he's a left 8, right wing, left wing. So there's multiple things to do. And I think that squad's massively improved, because we're going to lose probably Smith Rowe, Eddie, Nelson, Ramsdale. It's a lot of English, which, Eze fits that profile of homegrown. Well, he was our homegrown that we got rid of. So we're doing a bit of Man United to kind of sell someone or let him go and buy him back for bigger money, which is not nice usually. But I mean, the transfer window is going to really pick up steam once this Euros finishes. I'm excited for the American tour. I might try and get down to the Emirates for the Emirates Cup. But my God, am I sweating and there's flies all around me. So I'm going to end that there. I know it's only 20 minutes. We'll be back to next Wednesday to the regular probably hour. Me and Joe breaking down England, whatever happened in the Euros, maybe some transfer news, that kind of thing. And we'll be back on TikTok, 10 a.m. GMT next Wednesday. Gunners R Us podcast, go check it out. We do 2 videos a week. I must admit, I've been getting one out here because of the time difference. It's really hard to kind of match them up. But we're back. I'm back in England as of Friday, so kind of normal stuff will resume. But listen to this iTunes and Spotify and TikTok, and we'll see you next week with Joe. Come on, England.